welcome back. It's Wednesday evening, another episode of Nothing But Lit podcast. We're here, and we brought a special guest with us this week. Paul.
I like how he's a guest still. I like how he's a guest. Let's see if he comes back. So he's no longer a guest.
What is happening?
A guess, but thank you.
Yeah, Paul, we hear you just got back from a little trip somewhere. Where'd you go?
The Bahamas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right next to the United States.
It's Gulf of America.
Yeah, farther. It's right off the Gulf of America, but east of there.
All right. Well, you look nice and tan, sipping on a Topo Chico. Paul hails from Texas, so he's probably already getting out on the golf course. 50 degrees here in the Midwest.
Paul tore his rotator cuff, so he is not getting out of the golf course.
Paul tore his rotator cuff. I think also...
Really? When did you do that?
Hand session, huh?
I did it last fall on a boat. I fell down the stairs wearing socks, which is, I mean, to say it's kind of like a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
But
turns out it is.
So are you getting surgery or what are you doing?
I needed surgery, but then my doctor said if you wanted, you could try stem cell therapy.
Okay.
So I did that. They drilled into my hip. Now they've been doing this in third world countries for years, so it's pretty legit.
Is that good or bad?
In France. So they drilled into my hip, and they took
those
out
French
bone
have those
marrow.
great shoulders.
Then they put it like in a blender. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm saying this the best to my knowledge. Okay. They process the molecules, they pull them out, and then they mix it with stem cells from umbilical cord, and then they inject them all around in the shoulder, and it's supposed to make the tissue just regrow by itself.
When is that? Is it working?
I did it around Thanksgiving. I mean, it feels totally fine. I can do like push-ups and, I can't like do a lot of weight, like curling and stuff. 15 pounds. Don't laugh. That's a real number. And Warren, but they said like it's 6 months fully normal, 3 months maybe like feel like 100%. So I'm kind of like just over 2 right now, and it feels great. I don't have any pain, but I don't know that it's fully healed, and so I'm gonna wait another month before I swing a golf club, just because I kind of swing like a drunk idiot. You know what I mean?
Paul's got the fastest swing speed I think I've ever seen. It looks like it hurts. So yeah, maybe give that thing another month off.
Literally.
He's got a torn shoulder, a bad back. The ibuprofen goes down quick, along with the other.
Hits a lot of fairways though for somebody with that swing speed. I will say.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome back. Welcome to Texas.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So on the pod tonight, we are talking TGL per usual. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming Pebble Beach and maybe a surprise Rory win. Brandon can tell you all about it. We're going to talk about on-course beverages, maybe some of the favorite finds across our travels. And then we're going to talk about on-course pet peeves. And there are some good ones. So let's get started. TGL. Warren,
you watched.
Watch?
I watched some of it. When you got a 11-month-old crawling across you and screaming at the top of
those are just excuses, Warren. If it's a priority, you'd make it work.
So it was on there. It was interesting. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Like this far in, you know what you're gonna get. The banter's there, but it's never gonna carry it. Like that one guy got in trouble last week for saying something sarcastically, and then they're drilling him in the news for it. So
we're still
I didn't see that
in golf.
What happened? I didn't hear.
What happened? I don't.
Billy Horschel. I gotta remember. I gotta look it up. Billy Horschel said something sarcastic on there. All of a sudden, they took all those that saying and blasted it all over the internet. And he had to put out an apology about it.
No way.
Billy Horschel, Batman, out there said something, and they're making it's like So you're going to expect guys to get
Wow.
more aggressive with shit talk on there. Obviously, that's not.
I would
gonna
have no
happen,
chance
so.
on the PGA Tour if Billy Horschel's getting written up.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well,
but I mean,
yeah.
the competition was close. They needed that, right? The first 3 weeks were all blowouts. They were done by the time the singles pretty much started. So, from what I saw, I mean, it is what it is. Is it entertaining? It gives you something to watch on a Tuesday, not something still that's you're putting on the calendar to turn on every week. I mean,
No.
you watch some of it. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'll hold my thoughts. Brando, did you say you did or did not watch? Did
I
not,
did
right?
not watch. I had a board meeting.
Oh, fancy.
I mean, I like what they're doing. I think it's going to take time to absorb. It's so much different than golf. So if you compare the two, part of me for golf is I like being outdoors. I like the scenery. Even when I watch them on TV, I'm like, God, that's an impressive bunker. But just watching guys sit on a driving range. I mean, let's be honest. We've all been to tournaments. How many hours do you spend just sit at the driving range and watch the guys tee off?
And
Yeah.
it reacts
15
different.
minutes.
Like when you're watching the green, like I think Kisner had a putt and he hit it and it just bounced straight up into the grass, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
this isn't how that would react in real life. So I get why they struggle on that stuff because it's still not real golf, and that's the hardest thing for me to get over.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, having something to watch January, February when I can't golf outside, somewhat entertaining. But if that's as good as it's going to get, Team Jupiter versus Roarbird and the Boston team, I mean, that's probably as good as it's going to get, and it's average, I think, at best. But
Yeah,
I'm always more
let's just
excited
hope
about
it doesn't
real golf.
become the Arena League football.
put these guys in some
We got spring
lingerie. Let's
football
go.
now too. That gets to start here in a couple weeks too. You get a whole like 400 people in some of those stands. It's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
I'd like to know what their viewing is, like the ratings. Like, I mean, I'm sure this past week was high, but it
I
can't
don't know.
be
Do they even
good.
do TV ratings anymore? I'm not sure. I mean, they
think
must.
It's a lot
I
easier
read an
nowadays.
article. I read an article that their first, and these aren't exact numbers, but it was like 900,000 the first week, and then it was like 1.1 million whenever Tiger played second
Okay.
week, and then you saw a big drop off to like 675,000
Well,
week 3. Now,
the first-
obviously,
the
week
first
4's Tiger and Rory, so it's going to be the highest watched one, I'm sure. But it's stayed surprisingly steady.
No.
Whenever you look at like
It
PGA
says
Tour,
first Google
it was
search
much
is-
less.
I was gonna say we could just go with Warbird's data. That sounded good. Did you just pull that out of your ass, Warren?
No,
Like,
I
you
read an
literally-
article on it.
Oh, I'm like,
We-
good
No.
for you.
Wow.
The first
Holy shit.
the
I got
first
long
Google
lunches
search
at work
is
right now.
the first Google search is Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy fall short in boosting TGL ratings. So I don't know where you got that from, War Dog.
I told you I don't have the Tiger one and Rory one.
He
I said
told
was
you he didn't
probably
have it,
incorrect.
Brandon.
Okay.
He had
Oh,
the
I
first
thought you
four.
said
You're too busy
you were saying really
Googling
confident.
it.
Of course, their
Trying to
ratings are
figure it
up.
out.
I'm like, I don't
No,
think
week
so.
two
The
was
first
where
Google
the
search
one
said it.
where Tiger gave the boost. So that's where he
Oh,
gave the
Tiger's
boost. But I don't know with the Rory and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it, Warren. You're the new
Fail.
data guy. That was perfect. It is like a
It's spring.
softball
Not a lot of
position.
mortgages being done in February, so we got the time to look around.
I think the
That's
highlight of TGL for me was Keegan Bradley's stash. That thing is impressive. Ryder Cup captain
Gotta love
Dude,
a
he's
man
looking
with a
like
strong stash. You know what I
Tom
mean?
Selleck. All right.
Well,
The stash is back, hardcore back.
How about we talk a little bit about Pebble Beach? What do you got to win, Warren?
Oh, when? You're going jumping in right away.
I'm gonna write it down.
That's a good question. Anyone that tries to guess that stuff's always off. You got, obviously, Scotty is always the favorite, but the dude drilled into his hand making ravioli, so you don't feel real good.
We've
there.
all been there, you know.
I think he was drinking wine, but okay.
He was making ravioli.
Well,
Yeah.
he dropped the wine glass and cut himself.
Yeah,
drill.
whatever. So I don't know. I like Morikawa. Small greens. You got to stay in the fairway. It's going to be cold. Ball's not going to be flying, so that's going to take advantage of some of the long hitters away, in my opinion. So I'm going. I would go Colin if I were to take a stab at it.
I mean, there's no more accurate iron player than Scotty Scheffler. So, based on your logic, Warren, I'm going to say I'm right and you're wrong.
Hey, if you want to take him, you got that injured hand over there that he's babying. You go.
I'd take
for it.
Scotty Scheffler with one hand over the whole field. I mean, he basically destroyed the PGA Tour last year. I actually seen him hit a couple drives. He was like this with one hand. Just.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think it was the one match where he was up like 18 strokes going into the final round.
I love
Who you
it.
got, Brandon?
If I'm betting money, I'm taking Wyndham Clark because he won by about 7 strokes last year. He's a minus 5,000 bet right now. Not even top 20. So
Yeah.
and he's
Really,
top 10 in the world still. So I would, if I'm a betting man, I'm putting on Wyndham Clark. If I'm like, hey, who's going to win? It's Scotty Scheffler. Who else? Every tournament he's in, he's going to win. I don't care if he cut his hand or not. It doesn't change his swing. So.
Okay. Who do you want to win? I think we heard.
Who I
Betty.
want? I need. So this might be another podcast conversation, but Warren and I are in a dynasty golf pick'em.
Oh,
And
that's
I
nice. Thanks for the invite.
Wait, you might have had it, but I really need Jordan Spieth really bad to win something, or at least make $1 because my team is in last place right now essentially because my team is not making any money in winning tournaments. So Jordan Spieth, he's my boy. Let's go.
Okay. I don't know if this is helpful for your picks, but I saw an interview with him on the range today, and he said that he also hurt his hand. He's had a lot of physio work done. He said his grip.
Yeah, he had a wrist surgery. Did he hurt himself again?
I think it's still his wrist. And so he said he's having to aim so far left because he's hitting the biggest slice of his life. So I don't know if he's going to win this.
I know how it feels. Hey, let's go, boys.
I know you actually do know how that feels.
So, but anyway, go Spieth. All things are coming up, Michael Greller.
Yeah.
All right,
Brandon,
Paul.
you've played the slice for years. Just call Jordan up. Let him know
first of all, it's now a fade. Okay, we call it a fade. It's only a slice after about 8 beers.
Right, just a little push. Just a little push. Foz, who do you want to win? Who do you got to win?
Oh, I mean, I got to go with my guy. I mean, Texas local all the way. Actually, George is obviously Texas guy. We all know that. But Scotty is, I mean, how can you pick against this guy at this point? I mean, until he proves that he can't play golf, he's the favorite.
If he comes back,
I mean, the guy got wrongfully arrested last year and then went back out and won 4 more tournaments.
Paul and I were actually on site.
Hey, he didn't win that Open, so U.S. Open escaped him. How many majors did he win last year?
Third, I don't know.
How many majors did he win? 1 last year, maybe.
He won the Masters,
One maybe.
That's it.
So
Xander won 2. I think the best golfer last year was Xander. He won 2.
Xander's not even in the field this week.
He's got an intercostal rib injury. I looked it up.
That sounds like I made too much money last year. I'm going to take a couple weeks off early. Pass.
Yeah. So
as much as I would love to be a pro golfer, the thought of practicing for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and doing a swing,
and then 2 hours of CrossFit training.
Yeah, like the things they put themselves through is insane. But they also made Scotty won $36 million last year.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to live. That's why I'm playing on live. I don't have to do any of that shit. And I'll make more than $36 million a year. Duh.
Now,
I mean,
we'd have to ask.
Brooks keeps himself in pretty high touch. Like, what is it?
Yeah,
highest level of physical conditioning?
He's still chasing majors, though.
Yeah,
we shall see. Well, thanks for the picks. We'll see what happens. Of course.
Who'd you pick, Ellis?
You don't even need to ask that question.
For the viewers, it's Rory.
Rory.
Rorbert, every freaking time. I will pick him every tournament, every major.
And you'll be disappointed every freaking time. I don't understand.
Probably not till Sunday afternoon, though. Thursday through Saturday, it's like.
How'd that work at the U.S.
like the
Open?
Second favorite.
What'd you say?
I think he is like the second odds-on favorite to win, though.
He's always the second odds-on favorite.
Yeah.
All of last year he was.
This is true.
He's gonna
anything he
he's
plays.
the next Phil Mickelson.
Won the
Finished
amateur.
second like 80 times.
Yeah, not great. This is Rory's year. In his interview today, the guy goes, "Rory, this is kind of a pivotal year for you, wouldn't you say?" And he just glared at the guy. He goes, "I'm a professional golfer trying to win. Don't you think every year is a pivotal year?" Next, like testing.
Getting a little grouchy. Long
Start
flight
winning.
from over in Dubai.
Start winning.
Start winning is right. I'm going to call it now. Rory gets a major in 2025. So
I'll bet you
Did you call that?
$10 he does not.
done. Do you want me to, for another 10, I will name the major?
Yeah.
He's winning the Open this year.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Put it down. Put it on the books.
where it's recorded, it's on the books.
Now, when you say the Open, are you saying the British
The one
Open,
in
or are you
Ireland.
saying
The
the
one in
U.S.
Ireland.
Open?
Oh, the British Open.
So I don't even think they call that the Open. They just call it. Well, yeah, no, it's.
Yeah,
It's the Open.
everybody refers to it as
The
the British Open. Technically, it's just called the Open Championship. But
Yeah, okay.
neither
Yeah.
here or there. Semantics. All right, let's get into a little bit of alcohol here. Paul's sipping on some already.
Yes.
However, what I want to hear is on-course drinking. What are our go-to beverages on the golf course? Paul, we'll start with you.
Sand Valley Golf Resort does the best gin and tonic. I don't know what they do, but something with rosemary and an orange peel. I mean, it's magical.
Now, would you drink a gin and tonic on an 85-degree day, 90-degree day up in Sand Valley, or is that just post-round?
I mean, I think you can drink a G&T anywhere, I mean, there's not a bad time, honestly, spoken like a true alcoholic. But I think when it's really hot, still gin and tonic. Because when it's really hot, I can't drink beer. Yeah, Corona. But I don't know if that's beer.
I'll second that. I think we had one of those when we went out and played the sandbox at about 110 degrees. And it cools you off. It gives you something. You're not looking for beer after that round. So, amen to that.
Okay. Well, Warren, we'll pass to you then. And I think, side note, you're the only person to golf Sand Valley in a tank top, yes or no?
True. I think there might have been other people without shirts
Did
on
you
out there that
cut
day.
the bottom of it off to show your belly button?
It's looking good. It was full of sweat. 110
I'm sure it was looking good.
My
Yeah,
wife's
no.
probably 5 months pregnant at the time. It was a great experience.
I'd love to see a
Golf
photo
Magnus.
of that. I mean, on the podcast so that everybody can see it. At the
Oh,
same
it's gonna
time.
go
Well,
to
it's
post
like-
Reddit. I think I have it.
All
right,
right,
what
to
are
your
you
question, there's two different ways to answer this, right? Your favorite drink at any point to me is still transfusions. You get out there, the grape cools you off.
I heard that
Specifically,
came
some of the
from
ones.
Wingfoot. I heard that drink started in Wingfoot. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what somebody told me.
I don't know. I can believe it. It's good though. The good.
So what's
cools
in
you
it,
off,
Warren?
but transfusion. I don't. They just serve it to me, brother.
He just says I'll
don't
take a
know.
transfusion. And
There's some grape juice, some
Sir,
ginger
what's in
ale.
that?
some vodka, I
know.
believe
Okay.
it's money. Take it.
Brandon knows
Take it
what's
if it's
in
an
it.
option.
Brandon, what's in a transfusion?
It's grapefruit or grape
No.
juice. It's grape juice, Sprite, and vodka.
No.
Ginger.
It's vodka, it's ginger ale, and then
Oh,
you just
ginger
splash some
ale.
grape juice in it.
Ginger.
It's the number one drink in golf right now. Like, I thought gin and tonic would be not even number two. Anybody know number two?
High noon.
Probably
Rescue.
Bloody Mary.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Screwdriver's got to be top 10, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, man. You're playing at different golf clubs than I am.
Yeah, the bouge one, Warren. They bring it out to you in a champagne flute and everything. That'll get spendy
They
real
just
quick.
take the little quart and dump some orange juice out and just take the vodka and bloop, 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 bloop.
Hey, the Muni's got to work too.
Is the transfusion the signature drink at Augusta, Paul?
No, I think it's like the Azalea or something.
Yeah, they have their spin on it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a transfusion.
Paul's bad. I don't know. Brando, what's your favorite on-course beverage?
I'm a beer drinker. Look at me. Come on. I love calories.
What's your go-to beer?
On the course? Ooh. Bush Light is Bush Light, Miller Light, Bush Light, Miller Light. Actually, whatever light you give me, I don't care.
Bring in the glass. I love it.
If Warren's buying, most expensive beer probably. But.
Can you stomach an IPA, or does it has to be a light beer?
Absolutely not. It's a light beer. What the IPAs? What are we at? A brewery? We're on a golf course. We need to stay light on our feet. Swing easy. IPAs do not do that.
All right.
So, but I've been known to hammer seltzers. I will say I've been known to hammer seltzers.
Oh man, I'll tell you, those high noons. I mean, those were invented by like a wine company, like Ernest and Giulio Gallo or something, like the box wine master of the world. They came up with that. Freaking
Smart
genius. The guy's crushing in a boxed wine and now canned liquor.
Unbelievable.
Canned liquor for golfers. I love it. But they taste great. You're right. 90 degrees, nothing tastes better.
I mean, you can drink those at any temperature.
Oh yeah.
100%. I was ice fishing and I was drinking seltzers the other day.
Doesn't seltzer, they have to have carbonation with it, so those aren't, high noons aren't
but
seltzers.
like high noon is vodka and soda. Seltzers are just malted liquor. It's like you might as well buy Colt 45.
Oh yeah, no, Colt 45. Jeez. No, this was
That's
like
also malted liquor.
I don't know what it was. I think it was actually Michelob Ultra seltzer.
Oh.
Whatever those are.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you're cutting back on the carbs.
I'm not. I'm trying to clean out the beer fridge, make room for the spring.
You got the winter lager out there. So if you would warn her in a cart together,
what else
then
is kind of a classic that I actually like. I just never really think to order it. Is the Arnold Palmer? You know, tribute to the man himself.
Ellis drinks a lot of those.
Arnold Palmer.
Well, I'll pass to myself and say if I had to pick just one, it would probably just be a straight vodka lemonade, especially with like a good lemonade.
Yeah.
Because it's
Except
not
for
like
the Fescue Rescue at Erin Hills, we agree that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So if you don't know, if you haven't been to Erin Hills and have got actually, if you've been to Erin Hills and don't know what a Fescue Rescue is, just close your computer and turn it off right
Smack
now.
yourself in the head with a tack
literally
hammer.
Yeah. So the Fescue Rescue, Paul, what's in that?
Oh, great question. I actually think it has ginger ale again, but I think it's lemonade, ginger ale, and Jameson.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yep. I believe that's it. Those
we're
go
gonna have to do
down.
another segment, and we're gonna ask every drink flavor and let Paul rat them all off. I feel like I can ask you any drink right now. You're gonna break it down in portions.
Man, I mean, it's part of the experience. I mean, you go play destination golf for two things: the beauty and the experience. I mean, I guess to tell your friends, "Oh, I played at Wingfoot." Yeah, I mean that's cool, but there's only like 5 people I know that even give a shit or even know what Wingfoot is. So you kind of go for the experience for yourself, and some of these places they make some curious food. I mean, if you go to Erin Hills, you got to do the Fescue Rescue and that bratwurst at the Turnhouse with the sauerkraut on the pretzel bun. Man, I don't care if I just ate 5 bags of cheese curds before I started.
You know what? And you know what, Paul? You know what, Paul? We got rushed through the halfway house when we were there last summer. And nobody had time to get brats and pretzel buns. I was chowing it down, running to the next tee because
I would have just Whatever.
The caddies are like, these are taking too long. Well, I got a partner that's shooting 125 today. Yeah, we're taking our sweet ass time. Like, what do you want me to do?
I got two comments to that. You're absolutely right, because all these times, these marshals, or when you have caddies, I love that. And they're like, don't worry, we'll stay on pace because we'll keep it moving, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the third tee and you're just standing there because the guy's in front of you. You're like at 45 minutes. You're not even on the third freaking hole yet. And then you get to 10, and then they're like, all right, let's go. We gotta pick up pace. It's like, well, where the hell were you guys at 2 hours ago?
Right.
It took us 6 hours and 23 minutes to walk the ocean course, my wife and I. It was like 95 degrees.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Well, when we played the ocean course, like, it took us 7 hours because a storm rolled in, and we were just sitting there in the rain. I'm like, why?
It didn't take us 7 hours, did it?
No, it wasn't 7 hours. No, but it was a long round.
That course is always backed up. It's always long and it's windy and you're right. They don't push people.
No, it was brutal
until it's like your group and it feels like you're getting pushed on every single one. We had some grumpy caddies, but fortunately for the most part, we stayed around. But
okay, I also thought of this when you mentioned that, Brando. We were at Erin Hills, and I asked the caddy, who said he'd been there since it opened. I said, what was the best golfer, worst golfer you ever had? He said, well, I caddied for Brooks Koepka for the practice round for the year he won the Open there. And then he said, I caddied for this, I think it was a Japanese or Asian guy, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's Japanese, that was not a good golfer. And he said, but I told my friends I was coming to play here, and so I want to count every stroke. And I said, how'd he do? He goes, 214 of them.
Oh, holy shit. Well, Warren probably shot 214 times, but he refused to hit out of the fescue. So he said, I'm not hitting out of this. Free drop. Okay. But he would have had 214.
Hey, those weren't free drops, but no, you walk over there and there's 3 foot fescue over there, and it's thick.
Yeah, you hack away. You hack away.
I watched Steven over there with sweat rolling down his
they
face.
brought in water trucks and watered the rough to get it knee high before any fans or whatever walked on the course. The fescue was knee high.
Oh,
it was.
I think
it was almost knee high when we were there at spots for sure.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, in my opinion though, when you go to the course, like when we go, nothing's trampled down. You miss it by 10 feet or 30 feet, you're in some deep stuff and you're looking around for it. When those guys play, they have fans laying aside. They could spray it 40 yards right. They get over there like, oh, well, this ain't too bad because it's been trampled down.
They got cameras tracking it in high resolution.
They're not.
A little more to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord knows my ball goes 40 yards off target enough times. I'd have some good shots.
Well, not even just the Lord. We all know that. So.
I've had my rough rounds. I haven't got to 200 yet, but I've tried.
200 is
214.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Here's another problem with pace of play, especially in these destination courses with caddies. Is like, what are you going to tell some dude that flew in from Japan that he's got to move his ass at Erin Hills? You're not going to tell that guy anything.
$500 round. I'm going to take my sweet ass time. You're not pushing me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And if you are going to push me, guess what? I'm not tipping. Okay, you just lost your tip if you're going to be a dick to me.
Brando, what's your thought? You seem like a guy who has some opinions about tipping caddies.
Here's the problem. Everybody double bags it. And you're supposed to tip as much as I was tipping for single bags back in the day. And the last time we had a caddy was Erin Hills, and we were paired with somebody who may or may not listen to this podcast someday, but he played absolute garbage. So he had 90% of the attention of the caddy the entire day, and I'm expected to tip as much or more? No, come on. This is bullshit. Sorry.
Oh, I got that. I'm going to jump on that one because we went to finally go play Bethpage Black. My wife and I were trying to play all top 10 public courses in 1 year. We got an opportunity to go play Bethpage during COVID. My son came with us. My wife and him shared a caddy. Now, he hits from the very back tees, like a 350 tee shot. My wife's from the women's tees. But anyways, so this one caddy who's like 80 years old takes both bags. And he gives my son like 3 clubs to go hit a shot at the green. He walks over, drops a couple irons down, hits the ball, comes back, gives him a couple clubs. We get to the next hole, and he was like, I think I'm going to tee off with my 5-iron. And he goes, well, do you have it? And Wyatt was like, don't you? And he's like, I don't know, maybe you left it laying in the grass. And then Wyatt turns and looks at me and goes, isn't that his job?
Well, that's funny.
We never found the 5-iron. Swear to God.
Remember we were in, Paul, remember we were in Pinehurst and we're playing number 2, and this guy, War Dog, left his putter or some a hole behind, and he made the caddy run all the way back and run all the way back to get his freaking putter. He goes, well, I didn't leave it. You left it. And the caddy's like, I don't think you used that club, like whatever it was. And he goes, well, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, you found it next to the halfway house. It was great.
Oh, yeah, you left it at the halfway house. It wasn't even a caddy's problem.
Yeah,
you took it to the halfway house.
Yeah, it was the halfway house. That's exactly it.
He literally ran too. I didn't know what was happening. All of a sudden, I see like his caddy jogging away. I'm like, did he quit on Warren? Like, oh, that checks out.
He was like, I'm done, man. I'm done. These guys
forced me to carry my own bag that hole too. I was a little disappointed the tip went down.
He was getting sick. He was getting sick of just pulling out your 3-wood every freaking hole 8 times.
Hey, 120 strokes.
I actually love. I can't say that all the rounds I ever played, I ever had a looper that I couldn't stand. I mean, some were odd and weird, but like, I appreciate that people still do it, and some people love it. You know what I mean? Like, you ever get some? Speaking of Pebble Beach, I had this dude. I think he's probably been there forever. Wore a bicycle helmet because he's like, I don't want to get hit by a ball. I mean, I didn't think the fairways were that close together, but he said we get some pretty bad golfers out here. So anyways, he had a fanny pack. I swear to God, he had a fanny pack. Like, the guy that was on our group, he didn't pay for a caddy. So it was like him and his wife and me and my wife. And so we paid for a caddy, which we split this guy, which he was very, very qualified. But the guy with us was like, hey, my rangefinder battery's dead. Do you know if I could get one in the pro shop? He's like, I got one here. Pulls out the fanny pack. He's like, what size you need? Literally had every size. And he's like, this one, that's it. Boom. He goes, what do I owe you? He goes, let's just call it $20. And then he goes, oh yeah, hey, here's another 20. Maybe if you could give me a couple reads or whatever. He goes, no, I'm pretty busy doing my job where they paid me to do. And I was like, I actually like this guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
awesome.
Dollar to the swear jar. I was gonna say my caddy experiences. I tend to get the guys that don't give a shit. At the ocean course, my caddy, you know how they bust you out from the range? They bust you out there. The first thing he said to me is, "We're not really gonna keep score, are we?" I'm like, "Oh."
Do you think he judged you off a cuff?
Yeah. Pretty much.
I remember having a conversation with him on the way out, or on the first hole, walking down the fairway, that same guy, and I remember him, I said, you know, are you looking forward to a second loop? Is it a little rough out there? He goes, I don't know, man. I don't think it can get worse than the first round. They shot about 105. I said, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Wow, 105, huh? It's not bad.
I think I shot 116 that round. So
what was that round with Ellis and you had a caddy? You guys like became Instagram friends, and all you did was play music the entire time. You go,
whistling straight.
Whistling straight, and they just were playing music the whole time, and we're like, "What are these guys doing over there?" The guy was just carrying a bag. It was just a buddy.
It was fun. That dude.
That's what you paid for.
Now I ended up tipping him like an extra $100 because he said, "Give me a call and I'll get you on at Sawgrass." And so he actually did. He got me on at Sawgrass. Like, this was during COVID, and didn't charge me anything. He golfed with me. It was awesome. Because he caddies there in the winter, so it was the best $100 I've ever spent.
If he technically gets fired because of this podcast, I just want to apologize for my friend up front for sharing that information.
Statute of limitations has been met.
I think that dude had a couple drug problems. He seemed like he liked a little cocaine, so he got fired. So.
Yikes. We're going down a rabbit hole now.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna course correct here just slightly. So that was on course beverages. Drink. Anybody else have any favorites before we move on?
Water.
Nothing.
Should drink more water.
Now, okay, I'll throw a random one out there. The Wednesday night men's league that I used to be in back in the day, a lot of the guys would have a glass of wine because it started 5:30. Dust starts, setting in. And it's not the worst thing playing 9 holes, glass of wine.
I don't want a headache by hole 8.
Those guys suck. What are you,
It's very
golfing
classy.
90-year-olds?
I've got a cardigan on. I prefer to golf with 90-year-olds. Yeah.
A lot of Italians. It's the Italian league, Midwest Italian league.
Don't eat.
And nothing like a nice Chianti off 3. You know what I mean?
A little table wine.
Drinking wine.
Remember, everybody, it's Chardonnay Thursday next month, so bring your favorite Chard.
What were you going to say, Warren? You got one more to add?
I said I can't leave the most time-honored tradition, which is Fireball. Warm, hot Fireball. That's one thing we have not brought up. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're talking drinks. That technically qualifies. As long as it's out of bottle, don't give me that little 2-ounce shot malt liquor crap. Give me a hot, warm plastic bottle full of Fireball.
Yeah, I like it when they make it cold, but again, we're probably golfing at different places.
So your Fireball's not coming out of Warren's bag from 4 months ago?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's like expired.
7 other people have
2022.
already drank off it. Oh no, it never expires. It's gone. But you're the 8th person that's drank off it.
Oh, speaking of expired, my wife was going through her golf bag, moving because she bought a new one. And I bought her a new one. She was moving her stuff in her golf bag last week, and she's like, "It's empty." And I was like, "No, that's not empty." And so she flips it over and dumps it out, and a can of gummies fell out of there that expired in September of 2022. And she goes, "Did you put these in here?" And I was like, "Maybe."
That reminds me of a good story about alcohol since we're on it with War Dog and his old bag. We were walking, and Warren was drinking cans of strawberry margarita on the course. And he sets his golf bag down, puts his margarita on his golf bag, like where the clubs are, and he hit the ball, went and picked it up, and the can of margarita dropped straight down in his golf bag. So he had to tip it over, and the margarita is dripping out of the bag. And then he continued to use that bag for the next 2 years, and just smelled of margarita mix the whole time.
That was the stickiest my grips have ever had been before in my life.
I forgot about that.
That was
I was at a guy's Ryder Cup, and similar story, except for we were all playing practical jokes on each other, undoing people's bags and stuff. We were pretty drunk. This was at hole 35 of 36, and we were all smoking cigars. And one guy set his cigar on top of his bag. He went to go tee off, and blah blah blah. He comes back, and literally the smoke's just rolling out of there because he had some tissues in the bottom. His whole golf bag was on fire.
No.
And he starts yelling at us, and he's like, "You sons of bitches! This is the dirtiest joke you could ever play." And then he realized afterwards that his cigar fell down inside.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it was hilarious.
How did you
We
put
did
that thing
actually
out?
get kicked off the course for that, though.
You could actually.
For starting a fire?
Good
Yeah.
story.
I think we got kicked off at Forest Hills because one of the people that were playing in the play day fell asleep with a cigar in their hand and burned a big old hole in the the cart's seat over there.
Gosh.
Good.
Lord.
Great.
Not
Hey.
good.
Yeah, realtor play days.
We've had some pretty fun stories in golf plus alcohol. I think one of my favorite memories is of our very own Paul. We're at Pinehurst having dinner, and I don't know if that's what happened during the day. We're having a nice steak dinner. We're all sitting around. All of a sudden, I turn to my left. Paul's asleep holding the steak knife, and he's nodding off. Just like this. reaches over to get the knife for safety reasons, which is nice. Brandon goes, I want that steak. Give me that.
I should eat steak. Yeah.
I remember waking up. Now, we did play 36, and I did a gummy, and I was pretty out of it. But I remember waking up, and I was like, where'd my silverware go?
Was that in the elevator or in the room?
Oh, no, the elevator. I was like, room key, what was it, room key and then room number, because like I had to remember what number I was in, so I'm like holding that little sleeve. I walked the elevator, beep, go in, swear I hit the button, I don't know what happened, but next thing I know, it comes to the floor. I don't know if I was sleeping for a while, but the security guard was right in front of me, and he's like, everything okay? All I can figure is somebody either called him and like he got there that fast, or I fell asleep in the elevator for a while, and then like multiple people were probably like pushing the button,
just kicking you out of the way.
But I did make it safe and sound. Thank you to the security team over at Pinehurst. I really respect what you're doing.
Shout out to the security team at Pinehurst. The Adventures of Pinehurst. We have more stories. We'll save that for another episode. Let's move on to on-course pet peeves. And I think, Brandon, you're going to go first and maybe tell us some of your pet peeves.
Well, I got one for you, Brando. This will get you fired up.
Okay. Oh, great.
I love it when guys that don't actually keep a handicap talk about how many shots they should get versus somebody who actually does have a handicap. And it's like, well, I usually shoot like 100, so you guys are going to have to give me like 35 shots.
And then they shoot a 90.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know my biggest pet peeve is with War Dog and making all the damn rules and changing them as he goes. Half of it somehow always win. Warren could shoot the same score every week and still somehow win, even though
keep the
parameters change on every on-course game. Somehow Warren still wins.
Warren, would you like to respond to that?
I got nothing. I
he knows it. He knows it. He's not even apologetic.
Are what the results are.
He's not even apologetic about it anymore.
You know what Warren also does that really I love? Whenever the cart, like the beer cart rolls up, it doesn't matter if it's his turn to tee off or his turn to putt. He just like drops his putter and walks right over to the cart. And he's like, I'll take a fireball and a beer, and you guys want anything? Yeah, dude, we want you to just putt real quick so we go to the next hole.
Oh,
you gotta have your priorities straight.
I'll give you a pet peeve, and he's not here to defend himself, but Aaron Lakia lines up a putt for the longest period of time for anybody I've ever met, putting on the flattest greens in the world. He could be mini putting completely flat. And I'm like, just put the goddamn ball.
It's a circle. Like, you get on a carousel, it goes around, you know.
Yeah, he drives me bonkers. And we have a buddy who goes up to a ball every tee box and literally waits 10 minutes lining his ball up before he tees off. And I might kill him someday. I might kill him. Drives me nuts.
Yeah, the whole, and then he probably not even a good golfer. I mean, if you're going to spend that much time, you better just impress the shit out of me.
He is the worst golfer you know, but yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'll tell you one of my pet peeves, and this is probably an outside one, but I golf with a group in Missouri every year, and one of the older guys that I drove with twice, and he drove both times. When you get in the cart, push the dang pedal all the way to the floor. It's not built to go down half speed.
Oh my!
Going a mile and a half. It's like we're driving backwards in 18 holes of torture. Like
everybody's sitting in the fairway waiting for you to get up there to hit.
And we're just off the tee box, barely. It's brutal. It's not the way those machines were built. It's 100% pedal to the floor. Let's go.
I like it.
Makes no sense.
Okay. What else?
What about you, Al?
I have too many pet peeves, I don't think.
Oh, you love it when somebody says like, "Hey, Ellis, can I use your ball marker?"
Oh yeah, that I don't like that.
You said to me once, I don't remember if it was Brando or whatever, just like, "Hey, can I borrow your ball marker?" And you're like, "You don't bring a ball marker out on the."
Yeah, I know what Ellis's pet peeve is. I've golfed with Ellis multiple times when he's brought a significant other, and if she doesn't say "good shot" after every hole, it doesn't matter if he shanks it to the right.
Oh,
30
it's not
yards,
even a
he
significant
expects
other,
them
Warren.
to say "good shot."
It's if you're partners with Ellis for any reason, you just be in the same damn cart.
Yeah.
If you don't rub his ego after every shot, God forbid. Like, okay, you playing like why? Well, I'm not going to say good shot. I'm not going to do
See,
it.
that you are my pet peeve. You are my pet peeve. I would say another pet peeve, just in general, is slow play. Yeah, that I'm not a good enough golfer. If I get slow played, I can't stand it. If you ice me on a tee box, it's already a rough scene.
Let's do a little Q&A then. How about in favor or against? And let's make them quick. Courses that allow fivesomes. For it, against it.
For it. Should have an eightsome if you're keeping pace. I don't give a shit.
I think no, I'm against it.
I would say if you have forced the rule of pace and play, I don't care how many people you got out there. The problem is I don't think you can with I mean, the group of us, right? You could get 8 of us out there. We're all speed golfers as long as we pick and choose who we're playing with.
I mean, that's an objective opinion, but yeah.
Depends on whether the beer cart girl rolls around or not. But
how about stepping in front of somebody's ball? Does it bother you guys or not? Like if somebody walks in front of your ball before you're getting are you like, man,
not good enough putter to care? Don't care.
No.
I'm kind of on the ball anyway, so it might actually help.
Step on the ball, kick the ball. I don't care. I'm 50 feet from the hole, Paul. Your footprint is not changing it.
Do you feel like though if you accidentally step on somebody's, you're gonna get shamed? It's like body shaming. It's like, dude, you stepped right in this line. Shamed. It's like, oh well, these greens are all made out of sand, man. These aren't black dirt anymore like they were in the 1950s, and nobody's wearing metal cleats. I'm wearing tennis shoes with no traction. I mean, you could wear these to play tennis in.
I think there's a few different things that are traditionally upsetting to people that are overrated, and that would definitely be one of the top ones, which is walking the line. Like it has no impact. You know, walking down the side of the course while somebody's hitting the ball, that shouldn't be a big issue. You know, you're 50 feet or you're 50 yards away, you're not interrupting somebody, but you get shamed every once in a while if that's the case.
How about this one drives me nuts? Uneven or unlevel tee boxes. I mean, I don't care if you're a public course or private course or whatever. How do you not get a flat tee box? I mean, I've played some really nice courses. I'm not going to throw any under the bus here today, Fields Ranch, but you're standing on an angle trying to hit a golf ball off a spot that is designed to be flat.
And how about to piggyback off that one? Occasionally we go to courses and where the tee box is lined up, and it's not lined up at the fairway. It's lined up on the left side of the edge. You know what I'm saying? That's another one.
That is, I agree.
Now, when it comes to the level tee box, like links courses, they're notorious for that. That's because they use the land or whatever. So if it's a links course like Glen Aaron and Janesville, there's a couple tee boxes that are intentionally like this, but that's kind of like part of the shtick. But yeah, if you're playing just a normal freaking course, that
what was the pet peeve when we played Arcadia Bluffs in Michigan and you were yelling across the gorge?
Yeah, it was slow play.
That was slow play, right? Yeah. We're not professionals.
Oh yeah, it was slow play. Yeah, those sons of. I mean, we were up against the night, wasn't it? We had like a 2-hour because
it was already dark.
We had like 3 holes to go, and these guys are like lining up all their putts, you know, like as if they're gambling on the. And it's like we literally had like 12 minutes of daylight, you know, like this. Right. You probably, if you went inside to took a piss, you wouldn't even be able to come out and see anything. It was that dark.
Oh yeah.
And these guys are like literally lining up the balls. So I was like, "Let's go! We want to finish our round." Then from there, probably shouldn't be repeated. But that
was a little bit of banter back and forth.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Trying to think of other.
How about people talking in your backswing?
Not about. It doesn't bother me because I'm the one that's talking.
As long as it's consistent. If I know you talk in my backswing every time, I don't care. You start talking halfway through and you haven't said a word in the first 30 seconds. I'm out.
Cart path only. Ooh.
Oh, I
That
hate
shitty
cart
course,
path.
you're telling me cart path only and your course is garbage? Come on, stop.
I
Or you don't warn me before I get there? Get out of here.
You
This
know
is
what?
garbage.
I can't understand the 90-degree rule. I mean, I'm not good at geometry, but somebody's got to explain that to me because, like, if me and Warren are on a, let's just say we're playing and I hit it like 260 and Warren hits it 220, I'm going to drive out on the cart path, go 55 yards in to get to Warren's ball. He's going to hit, and then we're going to go what? We can't. Can we go 40
You
yards
go
forward?
back, and then you have to do it
Go
again. You can't
50
go
yards sideways and then 50 more yards sideways because I think that's like 110 yards of driving on the fairway. But then it's like if you drive forward, but what if Warren duffed his, I mean, hypothetically, and now he's only 60 yards ahead of me? You know, do we
Right.
go to that one or do we go back?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
Make any sense. It only makes sense if you were like one person and you're a decent golfer and you're going to hit the fairway, drive on, drive off, and then hit it onto the green or near the green. Other than that, it literally makes no sense. Because if you have to go to two balls, the fairway is only like 150 yards long. Just drive the whole thing.
I agree. Not marking or not repairing your divot on a green.
Yeah. That bothers you?
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't
yeah.
bother me because I feel like most people don't do it correctly anyway, so I think they're making it worse. But to that effect, Ellis, pet peeve, of course, is that host too many goddamn outings nowadays, and their greens are completely littered with that shit. And they don't fix it throughout the whole year because they're like, well, we're going to have another outing tomorrow. I have not. Well, okay, well, what am I paying Sunday prices for if you're just shit's never going to be fixed? Fuck them.
I mean,
I don't even want to golf. I don't even want to golf anymore.
I think I'm
Golf
done.
podcast turns you into
Done.
an anti-golfer.
Done.
All right, what
GL
was-
fixes their tee boxes every hole. Why can't we give them that fix? Come on.
What would
Brandon,
piss
what
you off
do you
more?
feel about
A cooler
go
with
ahead.
no ice or people that accidentally play your ball?
Oh, Ellis.
on purpose?
That's a shot at Ellis.
Accidentally, I said.
That's a
Wait,
shot
what
at
happened? What did I do?
When somebody else accidentally plays your ball.
Did I play your ball at one point?
I don't know, I'm just asking the question.
You played
Here's
Lakey's
another one.
ball. You played Lakey's
How
ball
about
once.
playing golf on a Friday and the clubhouse closes at 4?
Don't try to bait me. Don't try to bait me.
4 o'clock?
Raising hell.
Is it
4 o'clock on a
January?
Friday, closed. Kiwa.
Oh, okay,
In
Paul.
Kiwa.
This is the
Tell the
story.
story.
This is the story. Kiwa has a 6 redheaded stepchild course, which is complete garbage. But they bought it. It's on mainland. It's not even on the island. And so we were the tee time. We were at like a 1 o'clock tee time or something like that on a Friday afternoon. We get out there. We get all our stuff. We come around the turn and we go inside, and the clubhouse is closed. There's not a single person in the entire clubhouse. And we're like, well, can we get more beers? Can we? And they're like, no, it's closed. And we found one person and it's closed. I'm like, what do you mean it's closed? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. Like, I still have another 9 holes to go, and I'm not even inebriated. So we leave the clubhouse. I get on my phone, Paul, and I call the concierge at our hotel. And I said, hey, my name's Brandon Johnson. I'm staying,
I
blah, blah,
assume
blah,
you're
blah,
staying
blah.
on the property.
I'm staying on the property. Yeah, we're staying on property.
Otherwise, you
I
would
said,
just sound
we're
like
out here golfing at this crap course, and the clubhouse is closed. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, well, we would like to have food. We'd like to have beers. We'd like to have everything. And we can't get them. Well, I'm sorry, sir. And I go, no, you're not sorry. We've paid thousands of dollars to come here, and I can't get a freaking high noon. So she goes, all right, let me make a phone call. So she puts me on hold. She makes a phone call. She comes on. She goes, all right, what hole are you on? I said, 9 or 10 or whatever. I'm on the green at 10. And she goes, all right, somebody will be out there soon. And so they drove out, and they gave me a case of high noons.
Really?
Yeah. What the heck?
Wow.
What is this garbage? So Kiwa was very nice. They were very.
They gave you
Everywhere
a
else
whole
was
case.
perfect. Yeah, everywhere else was perfect. It was the redhead stepchild course, which was complete garbage. Didn't go with the rest of the property, but whatever. Trigger me, Warren. Trigger me.
I don't have any stepkids, so I can't really comment to that part necessarily.
Kind of like the son-in-law. You don't really want him. He's your daughter. It's weird. You don't like him. In your house. It's weird.
Oh. All right. Any more pet peeves?
Transition that, Ellis.
Good luck, brother. Good luck.
Work my magic. Well, that about does it for the
I mean,
pod
it's an
tonight.
hour long.
Any final words?
No.
55 degrees tomorrow. We might be able to get out in northern Illinois. How about that?
EVG is walking 18 tomorrow. First round of the year. January 30th.
It's 55 here, and I am wearing a blanket.
Yeah. I'll be in my snowsuit. I'll let you know, Warren, if I need any fireballs sent on over, but I'm guessing the birdies won't exactly be flowing.
Maybe you could warm it up with a hair dryer just so it's nice at 72.
Warm up my driver face. Please don't crack. Please don't crack. Please don't crack.
Got a torch, just hitting it up. What are you doing, man? Just warming up my fireball, bro.
Got to keep it warm. It's only one way to take it.
I don't know a lot about wine, but I know you got to keep it warm.
Maybe I'll walk with a bottle of Cabernet tomorrow. Somebody be like, "Fucking with the bottle."
You have done that. You have done that. You have done that.
I have? No way.
You've had a bottle of wine on the golf course before, 100%.
Where her ass?
Were you using a styrofoam cup?
No, he was drinking straight out of the bottle. He had it in his bag.
I think it was at Pinehurst. No, it wasn't Pinehurst.
That's what hobos do. I don't know if you can see that word anymore.
I also
hobo,
likely had my shoes off. If Ellis takes his shoes off, get him to bed as soon as possible, because debauchery.
I realized the whole podcast I had the screen in the bottom left corner, so I'm probably looking like this the whole time. But now I actually just moved it right by the camera, which makes a lot more sense.
Well, let's just redo the whole thing, shall we?
Start over.
Dude, swing it back real quick.
Yeah, let me just. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next week.
Later.